This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And welcome back. The Northeast Missouri Inclusion Project is pleased to announce plans to build an inclusive playground right here in Kirksville. The Adair County SB 40 Developmental Disabilities Board is just one of many behind the effort to build a playground that is accessible to all. Now, to learn more about the playground and how you can get involved, we have Deb Wohlers, the Executive Director with the Adair County SB 40, here this morning. Hello, how are you doing?
Fine.
Thank you so much for coming on. So first of all, go ahead and tell us more about SB 40. What is that organization?
Well, the Senate Bill 40 is an organization that was formed in Adair County in 2005 when the community passed a tax levy, a property tax levy, that collects money to appoint a 9-member board and then to provide supports and services to people with developmental disabilities.
Okay.
Now, developmental disabilities are disabilities that occur in a person's life before the age of 22 that are continuing and that are substantial. We do several different things. One thing we do is operate the Life Ability Center, which is South Highway 63, which is a place where people with disabilities come to learn and participate in a variety of activities and classes. A lot of life skills are taught, some recreational activities, but everything we do has some way of enhancing people's abilities, because we think people with disabilities have a lot more abilities than disabilities, and that's what we try to emphasize. We also do funding to organizations, not-profits that serve people with developmental disabilities, such as Chariton Valley and Community Opportunities, the Sheltered Workshop. We do a lot of funding with them. We just this week approved a grant to Great Circles for them to do a parent training for parents of children with autism and communication disorders. So that'll be something that's in the news here. You're the first ones to know about it. But we again try to support the people in the community as best we can to have really successful and productive lives in the community. Another thing we do is to offer service coordination. We have 9 service coordinators, and they actually reach out to 5 counties altogether: Adair, Schuyler, Scotland, Putnam, and Sullivan counties. Our service coordinators are experts in the field of developmental disabilities that help families and individuals link to services they might need, to programs they might need, help them find funding for different kinds of supports, things like adaptive equipment, home modifications, medical and dental needs, just lots of different, parent training, lots of different supports that folks with disabilities need to just have successful, productive lives.
All right, and you are very vital in this community, and what you had just mentioned earlier is that you are giving the ability for those with disabilities to be able to do stuff and live a normal life as much as they can, and one of those ways that you're doing that is by helping with funding when it comes to this new inclusion playground. So tell us more about this playground that is coming to the Kirksville area.
We are so excited about this new playground. You mentioned inclusion. That's a really important factor in people's lives. For them to have happy and successful lives is to be a part of their community. When do people start forming opinions about folks with disabilities and whether they're just like me, is on the playground. And we don't have a single playground, although we have a wonderful Parks and Rec system that have done their best to provide accessible items on playgrounds. This is going to be a playground where any child can play on anything. I don't know if you can see, there's high parts on the playground that are all accessible through a walkway that leads right onto the higher parts of the playground. The slides, the various equipment on the playground, they're all things that are accessible. So kids with wheelchairs can get on there and play right alongside their brothers and sisters and their friends. Parents and grandparents will be able to get it right out there on the surface. The surface is something like a really short AstroTurf, and so a lot of times that is a real barrier. The surface of a playground is a barrier to people with wheelchairs. This is going to be where everybody can get right out there and play alongside one another from the get-go. So we think this is really going to promote inclusion. Kids will be learning that kids with disabilities are just kids that like to play on a playground just like them.
All right, perfect. Now, where is this playground going to be located once it starts construction process?
The YMCA has very generously leased in perpetuity a plot of land. It'll be kind of right in front of the YMCA, close to the school district. The school district recently was awarded a $75,000 land and water conservation grant, and they're taking a part in this. And that grant, by the way, is funded by offshore leasing, so there's no tax money going into that. It's wonderful. We're not asking for taxes. We're not asking for any kind of community input and funding other than just people who want to donate of their own accord.
Now, speaking of donations, you as SB 40 had made a donation to the playground. Talk about that and talk about how our viewers can make a donation if they're interested in helping out.
Sure. Well, when the YMCA and the Northeast Missouri Inclusion Project folks came to talk to us, our board was on board right away. They wanted to support it. So we did approve a grant actually last year of $100,000 to get things started. There's now a website set up, the www. I think it's NEMOplayground.org, where folks can go. There's a place they can contribute there. There's even a catalog of various items on the playground that somebody might want to purchase and then have their name displayed to show that they purchased that item on the playground.
Perfect. So what we'll do is we'll post everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com. We'll link up your information as well as the NEMO Playground information if you have any questions or concerns. Again, thank you so much, Deb, for coming on. This is a fantastic addition to the community, and I know everybody is excited to be a part of it. So thanks again.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.